This is my 2017 Ford Fusion Energi Titanium. One of the things I was very disappointed about when I got this car was that the trunk is so small. Now, that's alright because I don't have too many things, but the problem is also that there's no spare tire under here. So if you look, to remove this, basically the suggested way is to grab these because they've given on both sides, but I just like to grab it right under here. So once you remove this, if you look inside, you'll notice that there's almost no storage space. Now in my car, I have a bit of stuff in here, but this is basically where the little tire inflator kit goes, and I just have a little plastic cloth so that I can cover up when we're dirty or something, if you've gone out in the mud or something. So yeah, but basically one of the things that really bugged me was that what is this giant block for? Why have they put this big thing? Why not just remove it and I can store things under here? So today I'm going to be removing this to figure out what's under there and why I can't just store things directly in there instead of having this giant block. I used to have a Ford Fusion hybrid, and in the hybrid there was a similar block like this and there was nothing under there when I removed it. So I am assuming that this would be the same way too, but we'll see. So now, first thing you have to do to remove that, since it's under here, if I tried to pull it up from both sides, so this is the side where I can pull up, but it gets caught in here. I could push it back, but it doesn't go any farther, if you can see. But also, so what I have already done before starting this video was I removed these clips. So these were the clips that were right in this hole and in this hole. So I removed two of them. There's the other one over there. Now, since those are removed, all you have to do to remove this is just pull up. In mine, for some reason, the insulation was not on top of it, but I think in my previous Fusion there was insulation on top of it, and I think that's how it's supposed to be. So you might have to just, like, even if there's insulation right on top of it, you can just pull it up. So the way I do it is just grab it here, pull up, and then from the other side, there we go. So this is off. Now I'm just gonna keep this right here. There, so it's right up there. Now to grab this, it's pretty simple. Just grab this and you have to pull out. So I actually need two hands for this. So I'm gonna keep the camera right over here if it balances. I think that's good. So there we go. Okay, so now here we have the cavity for the spare tire, but since this is an Energi, obviously it doesn't have a spare tire, neither does the hybrid. And so in the hybrid, at least you have the possibility of adding a spare tire, but in this car, as you can see, this is the cooling and the cooling system for the battery, so there's actually no way you can add a spare tire here. And also, I was thinking that why not just get rid of this and store my things directly in here. Now, there's a reason for that, because since this is the intake, it needs a gap. If you look at the bottom of this, you'll see that there's a big opening. This opening is about 2 times as wide as this vent is, but it also accommodates for this. So it does need a room to breathe, so that's why you can't actually store things in there. That's unfortunate, but so what I'm gonna have to do is just put it back, leave it as is. But I did measure a little bit of this, and it's pretty thin all over except for this block. So if you wanted, you could cut out just a little chunk right here, about halfway deep as the box, just about where that ends, and by doing that you'll have a little bit more room, but pretty much all you can do is just carve into this foam block. You can't really take it out and store things in here, unless if you wanted to store things in here, if you kept it very accurately, like if you had a divider right here and on the other side as well, I guess you could make it work. That's kind of risky though, because if there's any small things that come into the battery intake and go into the vent, could damage your hybrid cooling system. So I would not suggest that. So yeah, pretty much for me, I'm just going to put it back and leave it as is. I don't really need the more room. I just basically store things like it's a first aid kit. This is a random bag. I keep wax in my car just cause when someone dings me in the parking lot, I hate when the paint stays white. So the wax just makes it revert to the original color. I have a tape measure just in case I need it. Matches and tissues, water, pens, just generic stuff. So this is just stuff that I keep in case I need it. I don't think I will ever actually need this. I just keep it in case, which doesn't really matter. Now to put this back, you just line it up like that. And then there are little tabs right here that have to go behind the cover. So you have to actually make sure those are aligned and then push it under like that. Now, there we go. So it's all the way in now, and oh, got my hand dirty. This is, be careful not to touch this though. So that's a little annoying. But yeah, that's in. So now that that's in, we can put this back. Oh, sorry. I mean this back. All right. So this goes back on here. And actually, since I'm doing this anyways, I'm going to make sure to put this insulation on top this time, because I guess the factory didn't do that for some reason. And that's actually part of the assembly line process, because this should be coming on, the insulation for the trunk should be coming on last. If it came on before, then that means maybe for 2017 they changed the assembly line process. This actually, so if I didn't mention before, okay, this is a little hard, so I'll just leave it there. It doesn't really make a difference. If I didn't mention before, this process of removing the giant foam block from the trunk can work for not only mine is a 2017 Fusion, but it can work for also the 2013, 14, 15, 16. They're all pretty much the same, even 18. There's been no changes for the hybrid battery part, at least. It's the same 7.6 kilowatt battery, I believe. But so far, yeah, it's a great car. I kind of use this as a shelf. Things do fall when I'm driving, but that's alright. That's why I don't keep these things on here all the time. These are just on here right now because I needed some room to remove this. But yeah, it's a great car, and thanks for watching.